Howdy y'all, Fast Force 289. So today we're going to be converting my 1968 Ford Fairlane from a standard steel linkage throttle operation to a fully cable throttle operation. And so I'm going to show you how I did that and the parts I used and the processes it takes to get where I got on that. So let's get to it.
And I got this it's for a 1970-71 Ford Torino, because that's when Ford converted or went to throttle cables in the cars, or in the Torinos, was 69 for a Mustang. But 69 Mustang was made a little different. The pedal went the same. It's not bent the same and everything. And I was thinking, since the 68, 69, 70, 71 firewall was very similar, that this would probably be the best bang for the buck. So we're going to remove this one. This one goes through the hole in the firewall. It comes out. I'll show you that. You can see where it comes out. It's bolted to the firewall right here. It comes out of the firewall right there. It comes through, hooks to a linkage, and goes up to your carburetor. And that's what actuates it. But we're going to eliminate all that. The other gas pedal stays inside the car. And I got this throttle cable. And this is actually for a 1972 Mustang. And I will say this is a little bit long, because the motors in these cars are very close to the firewall. They're not very far away. And so I don't know if I'm going to have to loop this or something. I'm going to make this work for now. Later down the road, I'll probably try to find a shorter one, or just get a universal kit. I'm going to try to make it work for now. And I also got a bracket off of one of my 351 Clevelands, and it's made for that style of cable, where it slides in here with a set screw. You can see right here where it slides in, then you got the hole for the screw right there. So that's what I'm going to do for the time being. So let's get to work getting this original pedal out of here, and we'll go from there. The very first thing you got to do to get this pedal out of here is you got to take the pedal itself out, because it's got to be pulled out from the engine compartment, versus how the other pedal is bolted inside the car. So there's a screw back here, and you can feel it, and you just twist it off. You loosen it, you know. And there is a spring back here, so when you're pulling this off, be prepared for that spring to fall out. See, right there's a spring. It stayed on the pedal that time, actually, surprisingly. But yeah, it was in there in kind of a weird way anyway. But that, there you go. That is the spring. There's a screw. I'm just gonna set this back in here for the time being, so we don't lose it. And then we'll get to the firewall. So we're in the fire and engine bay now. It's a 3/8 to get those bolts off. And we're gonna take them off. There's 3 of them, but I only got 2. One fell out, so I only got 2 to remove. So we can get that removed, pull the pedal out, and then we can disconnect this. This right here is just a clip. Pull that out, it slides off. I'm not going to disconnect it from there. I'm just going to disconnect it from here and pull the whole thing out as one piece. And then we'll move on to the next step. So I got the old pedal out. It was a little bit of a trick, because the engine is so close to the firewall, there's not a whole lot of room to maneuver. So I pulled my valve cover off to make it easier, give me some more room here. What makes it hard is if you have an automatic, the original pedal has this piece here attached to it for the kick down cable. So that's gonna be one thing you gotta fight, try to get it out. But it can come out with the engine. You just gotta kind of work at it a little bit, you know. But got that out. I went ahead and marked inside the car where the holes are going to be drilled. Let's see if I can get a... Anyway. Yeah, you can see the white dot there. So I'm going to get it drilled and up in place. And there's really no easy way to show you that. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing of trying to showing you me drilling it. So I'm gonna get it drilled, and I'll bring you back whenever I get the pedal bolted in the floor, and then we'll go from there. All right, so I actually was able to find a way to kind of get you in here to see what we're doing. So I'm going to take my automatic center punch. I'm going to go right in the center of the holes that I marked. Punch it a couple times. Make sure you get a good divot in there so your drill bit don't dance around when you go to drill it. Try to get this in the center of the mark as you can. And it is hard to get up under here, so. And you can pull the seat out, make it easier. And the steering wheel, make it easier. But it'll be alright. I already got my drill bit set up for a pilot bit. I'm going to drill this out. There's one. Damn. And alright, there's the problem in doing this one-handed underneath the tight dash. Or from my mistakes. Should have went a little bit slower, not gone at such an angle. But it's no big deal. I think we went through. Yeah, I think I just accidentally kind of moved the drill down and I slipped whenever it went through. So, just part of what happens, guys. So, I'm going to get that out of the hole and go and drill out to the proper size that I need. And then I'll bring it back when I get done with that. Okay, so what I've got done so far is I got the pedal installed in the car. I got the cable drilled. I used a 1/2 inch hole to get the piece that attached to the gas pedal to. Through the hole and everything, I got 2 screws mounted to the firewall. So now we're good to go. There it's mounted up. Now I got to get my bracket and get it to where it will bolt up for the cable. Now see, the problem is out too far and it's down too low. So what I'm going to do is tweak the bracket a little bit and get it into the spot that I want to, or at least I'm going to try to. So we're going to do that and then see what happens after that. Alright, so the first thing I notice is we need to come up with the bracket a little bit. So I'm going to just try to bend it this way to raise it some. Like that. Like that. That looks pretty good. And we'll go test fit this on the car. Alright, so we got my bracket made the way I want it. Had to tweak it some. I got where I'm pretty happy with it. Might have to adjust a little bit when I get the valve cover back on. I don't know. I'll deal with it then. So we got these 2 holes right here in the intake that we're gonna have to tap because one was used, but I'm gonna clean them both up. It's a 5/16 18 tap is what I'm using for the hole. That's what they are on these old Fords. Let's see if I can get you the 5/16 18 right there. And I also got a bolt. I'm just gonna, since these were already used, like they came out, they're actually pretty good. So I'm just gonna throw them in by hand to clean the threads on them. Cause they're fine. They're not that big of a deal. They actually weren't that crusty, surprisingly. See, I haven't done this one yet. I already did the other one. But this one here, threads right in. So we're gonna do that. I got them cleaned up. Let's thread them holes. Make sure you use a lubricant. I always use PB Blaster. Leave that up. And then we can get in here and tap this hole. Alrighty, so here's what we had to do, or what I had to do. This cable, like they do not reproduce cables for your 1970 and 1971 Ford Torinos, which is what I bought instead, but they don't make them at this state. So this is a 1972 Mustang throttle cable. It's a little bit long
overall to the firewall to begin with, which is fine. I can make it work, no big deal. But also another problem is this is too long where the gas pedal catches. You have this much play before the gas pedal catches, you know, and so like it needs to be. See, yeah, I got all this room in here in play. Well, the gas pedal's sitting on the floor like this. So what I did is I went to O'Reilly's and I got me a throttle cable stop. And what I'm gonna do is, this is what I'm gonna use to adjust it. So what I got to do is cut the end of this off, because this is the crimped on factory stop here. So cut that off, and then slide this over. Put the screw in there for the stop, and I can adjust where it's at. Now, the pedal, this is inside the car, the pedal hits this, and I think that's about the right height. So I already know that the pedal, when it hits this piece right here, that's about the right height to where I feel like it should be. So I'm just gonna take in consideration that, like, slide this down. I know that this goes through the gas pedal. You know, if you ever mess with any of these, you know how they work. This goes through the gas pedal in the hole, it clamps in. And then, and that's it. If you want to pull it out, you just squeeze the tabs and pop it out. But anyway, so with that being said, I'm just going to figure in about the thickness of the gas pedal from here to the edge of this, where the clamps are, to here. And slide this down there. I'm not going to cut the cable that short, because it's better to have adjusting room. I'm going to cut it right behind this crimped cable stop. Excuse me. And then I can slide this on there and adjust it however I need be and make it work. And I think that this right here should cure my problem. I'm going to do that, and then we will go from there and see how that turns out. Okay, so a quick update. I'm a little bit of an idiot. I ain't gonna lie, this is the first time I ever used a cable stop before. What I was going to do, how I thought this worked, right, is you would run the cable through here and then up through the hole, which is clearly pretty much impossible. But I figured that's what you would do. You would adjust it up and down the cable how you'd want it, and this would go in there, and this would work the gas pedal. You know, this little tiny plastic piece of shit. Honestly, I don't like it. This is where I'm an idiot. So, and maybe I'm still wrong. I don't know. Y'all can comment down below and tell me how to use this thing correctly. I've never used one. But what I think how this works is you would feed the cable through this hole, this one hole in the side here. And once you get it in there, like that, like so, then you tighten the screw down, and that acts as like a puller, you see, which is brilliant. That's even better. The problem with that comes as I don't know where to cut the cable. So this is where I'm going to have to figure that out. And this actually worked better. This thing diameter is almost the same size as the hole, so when it's turned sideways like this, it's not going to pull, and it'll pull against this instead of that plastic thing. So now I got to figure out, I know that in the car it's pushed back a little bit like this, and then you got wide open throttle, but so I got to figure out where, you know, like I know about where, but I don't want to cut the cable. What I might do is see if I can get it to go all the way through as an adjuster, and go from there. So y'all stay tuned. I'm going to figure this out, and then we'll go to the next step. Alrighty, y'all. Well, this is a look at the end product. I figured it out. I went up a size bigger on the throttle cable stop. I ran the cable through both holes all the way through it, and then put the screw in, which I think that's how it's supposed to work anyway. That makes sense to me. And it's adjustable. I'm gonna leave this little bit extra here just in case. Just in case, like when I go to a 4-barrel or whatever, maybe I need to adjust this some or whatever. So I'm gonna just leave it like that because you can't see it. It don't matter. So this ain't gonna fall out. Like it took some time to get that in there because it's so close now. But now the pedal pulls it like it's supposed to. And I think we're gonna be good. So, and yeah, it should be good to go, I hope. And we're gonna see how that works. But it's been a challenge, but it looks pretty good. And there's where it's bolted up to the firewall. It's got good bushing still. The pedal's good and tight, so it's got a good spring on the pedal. And I took a measurement before and after, and the old pedal between here is the same.
It was like roughly 3 1/4. It's you know, it's 3 1/4, maybe 3 1/8, whatever. It's within an eighth of an inch or whatever it was originally, which is fine. And then 2 inches from the floor to the bottom of this. So we're good. That worked out perfect. And can't wait to try it out. Let me let y'all see what it looks like from the outside. This is how it looks. Got the cable where it's bent up perfect. It goes to the firewall nice and clean. Screwed in there, fits perfect. Fits on the carburetor nice. And it works good. And, whoops, try my screwdriver. Goes a full wide open throttle. Now, let's see, y'all could do however y'all want. I decided to do the 72 Mustang throttle cable because I like how this spring's built in. So far, the cable feels pretty good to me. I might end up going back later and adding a return spring if it feels like the pedal's too soft or whatever. But so far, it feels all right because this is a moderately stiff spring, not real stiff, but it's, you know, whatever. And then with the curve in the cable also adds resistance. So you don't want a whole lot of resistance on a cable. It makes it wear out faster. So I'm going to drive it, see how I like it. If it feels too loose, then I'll add a return spring down low. But that's how it looks. I'm going to put the valve cover and all back on there. And I will take this stuff back off. I want to go drive it, make sure I'm happy with it, make sure everything works like it's supposed to. I'm going to come back and I will remove the bracket and the gas pedal again. And clean all this up and repaint it. I'm going to paint this black and the bolts black and all that, and the gas pedal, all that shit. Make it look real nice. And then that'll be done. Alrighty guys, well, there we go, we're done. So I'll put back together. And the only thing left to do is paint it, which I will do later on. But it all looks good. And as far as that big hole there in the body from the original gas pedal, I'm going to get me a body plug. I'll measure the size of the hole and get me a body plug that size, put in there, and I'll clear that up. You won't never even see it. Won't be able to tell. I think it turned out really nice. In there. Alrighty, so this is the processes that I use to get where I'm at. Like I said, this car had a steel linkage set up like all the 68, 69 Ford Fairlanes, Torinos, Cyclones, Montegos, and what have you had. They didn't go to a cable setup, like I said, until 1970 for Torinos, 69 for Mustangs, and maybe earlier for some other cars or whatever, or later for other cars. But anyway, so that's what I did. I think this turned out really well. It operates very well. Now, do note, it might be because I still got a 2-barrel. I haven't converted to a 4-barrel carburetor yet. When I change the intake and all, it might move that out or whatever, where the cable's not in quite as much of a bind, I would say. I did have to put a light return spring with that throttle cable onto the carburetor because it seemed like when I was going up to not gas pedals, street lights, when I come up to a stoplight or a stop sign, I let off the gas. It's like it didn't go all the way to full stop. Like maybe the cable wasn't quite going all the way, and it could be because it's brand new. Maybe it just hasn't gotten broke in yet, and it's not used to being routed in that position or whatever. It might go away with time, but not bad. It's not real bad. Like it wasn't a super high idle or nothing, but I could just tell it wasn't going all the way. And I could kick the throttle and it would go down the rest of the way. So I added the extra return spring just to kind of give it some more pullback on it. But aside from that, it turned out great, I think. The bracket on the intake, I'm not going to keep that bracket. I don't like the way it looks. It looks a little, it works. It does work, but when you look at it, it just looks kind of funky. I don't like it. Kind of amateur, dirty. So when I change the intake to a 4-barrel, which I'm going to do in the near future, I'm going to make my own bracket for that. I got some I can't talk today. Again, I don't know what it is. Not angle iron. I got some flat stock. I think it's I don't think it's quarter. I think it's 1/8 inch. Maybe 3/16. Anyway, plenty enough to do for a bracket. So I'm going to take that and bend it and everything and mock that up and drill the holes for it to mount to the intake and whatnot and get that working and make a better looking setup than what I currently have. But it does work. So that's the main thing, is it does work for now. So,
But it's super easy install. If y'all want to do this to y'all's car, it don't matter what kind of car it is, any car. And the 69 Mustang gas pedal would work. And actually, in all honesty, the way that I ended up doing this cable might have been better because I don't have, like, I know y'all seen this one. It's a 7071 gas pedal for Torino. And it's just, it comes up, you know, and you got the hole in the center and the slot for the cable to slide through. And then that plastic round piece supposed to snap in. Well, since I didn't end up using that, excuse me, I ended up putting a cable stop on it, which, funny enough, on a 69 and 70 Mustang gas pedal, it comes up, and instead of having the hole with the slit, it's got like an oblong hole in the front of it, you know, and then the top of it kind of bends over like this. So it's made for like a cable stop. The 69 70 Mustang cables were different, and I could have actually ordered a 69 or 70 Mustang throttle cable, and it would have worked perfectly for this, possibly. I'm not saying that guarantee because I don't know, but if y'all want to try that, try that. Get a 69 gas pedal, 69 70 Mustang gas pedal, and get the cable and try that. It might work perfect without having to modify anything. Maybe. I don't know. But you know how 69 70 Mustang gas pedal at the top is like this? Well, their cables had like a cable stop, and you would feed the oblong piece in, and it would sit in there just like that, and that's how, you know, the gas pedal, it would catch it like that and pull it, which in my case is now what I have now. So that's why I'm saying maybe a 69 70 Mustang throttle cable would work for this. Look into that and see what you got. This cable here, I believe I said it was, I think, what, 23 1/4, I believe. So take that measurement, which happened to work perfect. If you decide to try the 69 70 Mustang throttle cable, look it up and see what the length is on it, because you can go a little shorter. You know, I wouldn't recommend going any longer, but you can go shorter. Get a 20-inch cable, whatever. You know, you don't want it too short, obviously. You want to be able to route it and everything, but look at the length they got for 69 70 Mustang throttle cable. Maybe they'll have one that'll work where you don't have to modify it, you know. But if not, this being the case, this is the route I took, you know. Just from figuring this out on my own. Nobody told me how to do it. I just got online and started researching different throttle cables and looking at this. And since the 70 and 71 Torinos firewalls are very similar to the 68 69s, I figured, what the hell, I go with the 70 71 gas pedal. The 69 70 Mustang gas pedals are similar. The way they bolt up is the exact same. The bends are a little different in it, but I don't think it would interfere with anything. I don't think it would hurt it. I think it'll work fine. So, but yeah, that's from me in the video for this one. If y'all like the video, give it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. And leave a comment, as always. Leave a comment down below. Be civil, but leave a comment. Tell me what y'all think, or tell me other ideas that y'all might have had that maybe, you know, I should have done this or that, or tell me if y'all done this to your car and how it turned out and what y'all use. Did y'all use a 70 71 Torino gas pedal? Or did you use a 69 70 Mustang gas pedal? Hell, maybe use something from the mid-70s. I don't know. But comment down below and let me know. Also, I am on Instagram under the same name, FastForwards289. So if you want to check me out, if you want to follow me on Instagram and check me out on there, I'm on Instagram. I'd appreciate it, and thank y'all, or as always, thank y'all for watching. And also subscribe if you have not subscribed already. I'd appreciate it. It helps my channel out. And yeah, so this is where we're going to end this one. I hope y'all liked the video, and as always, thank y'all for watching. Have a good day.